Hello VC, Mark here. Welcome to Recent Vinyl Finds number 59, Elvis edition. And I have been a fan since probably the age of 4 or 5. I started collecting his singles at a very young age, and probably at some point in my mid-teens I started collecting his LPs. Shortly after, I inherited my mother's collection. She was a huge Elvis fan, and she had several of his LPs, but the majority of her collection consisted of singles. So I have all of those. Trying to be an Elvis completist at the time was daunting, just because of RCA's reissue program. Just could never get my head around all of the releases. Back then there was not Discogs. There were those books, and I used to highlight all of the pressings that I had in that book. But at one point I let the bulk of that collection go. I kept the items that belonged to my mother, and I kept the very early albums, probably the first 4 or 5, and then the later live recordings from his career, probably mid to late 70s. But the rest of the albums, most of the albums from the 60s, a lot of the soundtrack albums, I sold. And probably, over the past 4 or 5 years, I've been bringing some albums back into my collection, looking for kind of unusual covers, compilations, not really albums proper that were released initially as part of his catalog, just kind of neat items, and I get a kick out of that. And I had a friend pass away early in the summer that I've been buying from for years, and I had kind of a backlog of albums, and then after he passed, I really helped his wife, and I'm still helping her with his collection. But I purchased a few more of the Elvis titles that I'm going to show you this evening. But I wanted to first start out with one of my my original albums, and this is just in pristine condition. Just an iconic cover. Lots of great covers on this one, of course, on the RCA Victor label. And I've had this album for probably 30 years now, I would say. So this is really special. All right, so I'm going to start out with this box of 45s, still sealed, and God, I was so close to Dan. We loved so much of the same in regards to our collecting. We both loved promos. We both were notorious for buying and then not opening a lot of our albums just because of the quantity. I'm sure he had all of these singles. I know he had all of these singles in multiples, so there was really no need to open this box. This was just on his shelf, kind of a conversation piece, and that's probably its life is going to continue in that fashion with me. I'm just going to put it on a nice shelf. But this collects. There are 15 golden records, 30 hits. It seems like lots of early numbers. Can't Help Falling in Love, Hound Dog, all of the essential Elvis titles, Love Me Tender, Jailhouse Rock, Treat Me Right. Just great stuff. I don't know if these are colored or not, and I think I may have one of these sets that are open, so I can look into that. But this was nice to grab. So this is Essential Elvis, and I believe these were released in the UK. This is a mono pressing, and this is kind of cool. On the on the original price tag. It was purchased at Ernest Tubbs Record Shop. Kind of neat. We did not have any of those shops in the states where I lived, so I'm assuming this was purchased somewhere down south. This is a beautiful gatefold. So many iconic photographs of Elvis in all of his films. And then we have a second volume. And this includes 15 unreleased performances. And this is a stereo pressing. Again, I think this was released in the UK. I Beg of You. Some great covers, Blueberry Hill. There are multiple outtakes of the same track. Have I Told You Lately That I Love You? Again, just kind of fun to own, and I just love the covers. This one is Pictures of Elvis, and like the title says, it compiles songs from a bunch of his movies. Again, I think this is a lot. I think a lot of these are either UK or maybe Japanese pressings. It's kind of a cool green RCA label. And then this was made in England. And Return to Sender, I really like that one. Girls, Girls, Girls. Lots of Lieber Stoller songs. Girl Happy, Rockahula Baby, Roustabout. This next album collects all of the Sunsides. It's a 2 LP set. This was released in 1987. So the first album comprises of all of the master takes, and then side 3 you have the outtakes, and side 4 you have the alternative takes. And there's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 takes of I'm Left, You're Right, She's Gone, My Baby's Gone. And of course, he was with Scotty and Bill. This next one is from Elvis Presley Boulevard, Memphis, Tennessee, recorded live. Of course, you know I love my promos. This is a gold stamp promo. Elvis was in his jumpsuit mode, in full effect. Blue eyes crying in the rain. I've just learned to really appreciate Elvis's voice more and more throughout the years. It's just an amazing instrument. Hurt, I'll Never Fall in Love Again. Let's see, Danny Boy. And let's see, I don't know when this was recorded, what year. I would guess mid-70s. And then, of course, you have the original inner sleeve advertising all of the Elvis titles. And this is on the tan label. I'm looking for a date. 1976. And all of these are in mint condition. Most of these were not played. And I purchased the albums for $3 each. The next one is Elvis Sings for Children, which is an album that I was not familiar with. And Grown Ups too. And this is still sealed. And this has a special Memories of Elvis greeting card on the back. Of course, it includes Let Me Be Your Teddy Bear, right? You have Old MacDonald, Old Shep. That's Boy, he did that early on. And this is the original mono recording with the Jordanaires. Again, just an unusual album, a different album that you wouldn't expect to see in a collection. I picked up this one for the 2 hype stickers. This is Moody Blue, his last album of original material. Let's see, I've been collecting LPs for, say, at least 35 years. I've never come across any color except blue. And I know there are color variants out there. Some of the folks at the pressing plant, probably against RCA's will, pressed some, I think in black, and I think in other colors as well. And those are highly sought after. But again, I've never come across one. Next one is Elvis, the first live recordings, never before released. And this is Elvis on the back, taking a little break from all of the hysteria. And let's see, we have I Want to Play House with You. And then basically the trio with Elvis Presley, Scotty, and Bill. It's Maybelline, Tweedledee, That's Alright Mama, Hound Dog. And these were recorded live at the Louisiana Hayride, 1955 and 1956. So I will definitely open this and give this one a listen. Love Letters from Elvis. This is on the orange Dynaflex. And I don't know if you can see, but this is a promo, not for sale. It's stamped. Well, not stamped, but it's marked in the corner there. And what you would expect. Lots of ballads, love letters, When I'm Over You, I'll Never Know, If I Were You. I really love this cover. I Was the One. This is from 1983. Really cool. Very cool pink label, very 1950s. And this collects a bunch of his early rock and roll numbers. My Baby Left Me, You're So Square, Baby I Don't Care, Little Sister. Man, I love that song. When I was a little kid, I would play that 45 to death. Paralyzed, Baby Let's Play House, I Was the One, Rip It Up, Ready Teddy. Great stuff. Having Fun with Elvis on Stage, a talking album only. I've never seen this one before. Very cool cover, back cover. Elvis concerts from 1970 through 1974. Hear Elvis on RCA Records and Tapes. So I don't know if this is him just, if they're just recording banter with the audience. It's a mono pressing. I can't speak to this album at all. Again, with that sleeve that we all know and love, promoting the hell out of all of the albums. This is a reissue of the Elvis album, restored to original mono, digitally remastered. Let's see, I would guess the mid-80s. And this is part of the the 50th anniversary series. Again, just filled with classics and lots of great covers. Rip It Up, Love Me, Long Tall Sally, Paralyzed, Ready Teddy. Another great cover, Always on My Mind, and this is, again, part of the 50th anniversary series on purple wax. Separate Ways. Let's see, Unchained Melody. Love his cover of that. Always on My Mind. You Gave Me a Mountain. These songs really show off Elvis's range. It's Midnight. Great stuff. And I also, well, actually there are two copies. One is in the shrink. Probably my favorite jacket of the bunch, Elvis, Return of the Rocker, on his Harley. This one's still sealed. Again, a bunch of early rock and roll hits. Lots of the same on these albums. Stuck on You, A Mess of Blues, Follow That Dream, Little Sister. Let's see, Stuck on You, Return to Sender. This is still sealed. This is kind of cool. This is a Elvis, He Walks Beside Me. Includes limited edition mini photo album. Favorite songs of faith and inspiration. And I think more than any other genre of music, Elvis loved gospel. He Is My Everything. Who Am I? How Great Thou Art. An Evening Prayer. This is cool. I think I'm going to open it and show you the book. If I can. I don't have my little razor blade here. Oh, I got it. Let's see. Memories of Elvis series, RCA Records. And there's a bunch of photographs, probably all from the 1970s. This is standard black RCA label. Two more. Our Memories of Elvis, Volume 2. More of the pure Elvis sound. Let's see. Green, Green Grass of Home. Way Down. Always like that one. Don't Think Twice. It's All Right. Unreleased Complete Studio Jam Session. 8 minutes and 36 seconds. That's going to be cool. Especially when he's jamming with all of those great musicians that he surrounded himself with. And then the last one is Guitar Man. All right, so those will be a nice addition to my Elvis collection. I hope you enjoyed seeing them. Take care.